Melissa was sitting in a cafe with her friends when suddenly her phone rang. It was her husband. "Melissa, where are you?" Alex asked nervously. "My buddy Eric just called me. He said no one is at our house." "Didn't you hear the doorbell?" "He came to visit." Melissa froze. "I'm sorry, I didn't think he'd get here so soon," she said. "I'll be home in half an hour." 15 minutes later she was already at the apartment. But she didn't see any friend at the door or inside the building. She changed clothes, and suddenly, the doorbell rang. Melissa opened the door and was stunned. Melissa stood in front of the mirror with a glass of champagne, trying to smile at her own reflection. She tilted her chin up proudly, but her eyes were filling with tears. It was their 10th wedding anniversary. And Alex, her husband, wasn't even home. He had left early in the morning, without a word, without a kiss, without congratulations. Business had completely consumed him. Alex had been chasing a huge deal for months, and he kept saying if it worked out, their life would change. A new house in the suburbs, an exotic vacation, and finally starting the family they'd always dreamed of. Melissa wanted all of that too. But today? All she wanted was for him to remember her. To remember them. She had gone through heartbreak before. Her first pregnancy ended in tragedy while Alex was away on a business trip. They both promised they'd heal and try again when the time was right. But years flew by, and Melissa often felt like she was slipping to second place in his life. After the company, after the contracts, after the endless, important calls. This morning, when she hinted about their anniversary, Alex only said, "We'll see." Now she sipped her drink bitterly, whispering, "Did you really forget, Alex?" And then her phone rang. It was him. "Melissa, are you awake? Listen, I need a favor. My old college buddy Eric is coming into town today. I gave him our address. He's probably headed straight from the station. Can you meet him? I don't know what time he'll show up." "That's all?" she asked flatly. "That's all. Thanks. Honey. I'll see you tonight," he replied, hanging up. Melissa's tears finally spilled over. "On my anniversary, I'm supposed to babysit his friend," she muttered angrily, then called her best friend Julia. Julia insisted they meet for brunch. "You've survived 10 years with him, that's worth celebrating," she laughed, handing Melissa a little box of French perfume. They clinked glasses, remembering college days, when Julia, Melissa, and their friend Brian were inseparable. Back then, Brian had even stood as Alex's best man at their wedding. Melissa often thought Brian and Julia would have made a perfect couple, but life went its own way. As they were laughing at old stories, Melissa's phone rang again. Alex's voice was tense. "Melissa, where are you?" "Eric called me. Said nobody's at the apartment." Melissa froze, then answered quickly. "Sorry, I didn't think he'd arrive so soon. I'll be home in 30 minutes. She rushed back in a cab. But when she arrived, there was no Eric. The neighbor said she saw a man waiting but then leaving. Melissa sighed. "Great. My anniversary. And I'm running around for nothing." She changed clothes, put Julia's flowers in a vase, and tried to calm down. That's when the doorbell rang. Melissa opened the door, and her jaw dropped. Standing there was a tall, blue-eyed man with a warm smile. "Melissa?" "Hi, I'm Eric," he said politely. She invited him in, made coffee, and they chatted easily. He told stories of his and Alex's college adventures, and for the first time that day, Melissa felt noticed. But then, the doorbell rang again. Melissa opened the door, and this time, it was Alex. He stood there holding a massive bouquet of roses, his face full of guilt and love. "Melissa, happy anniversary. You're the best thing in my life." He pulled her close, whispering apologies, before greeting his old friend Eric. Moments later, Alex announced the truth. The restaurant was booked, friends were waiting, and tonight they would celebrate properly. Melissa's frustration melted away as they walked into the festive room later that evening. Julia danced with Brian, Eric laughed with old friends, and Alex held her hand tightly, whispering, "I almost messed up, but never again. I love you, Melissa. More than anything. And after New Year's, we're finally taking that vacation. Just you and me." Her heart softened. She looked into his eyes and whispered back, "I'm happy." In marriage, mistakes happen. Sometimes people get so lost in work and daily struggles that they forget what truly matters. But love is about more than dates and anniversaries. It's about forgiveness, understanding, and never giving up on each other. To all couples out there, may you have patience, kindness, and a little bit of magic in your story too. Red Heart.